Welcome to this week's video. She's running again. 13 air fuels. We just started it. So I'm bleeding it right now. Little hydraulic noise, but well, I guess they're not hydraulic, they're solid. Little valve train noise in. But remember well, I don't think I videoed it, but I added the VVL rods to the exhaust side, so those aren't the original rocker arms anymore. So I'm expecting it to be a little louder, but that noise actually was coming from the intake side, so it should settle down. Smell the E85. But we're gonna bleed it and then go for another test drive. See how this engine's running. Already the oil pressure is way better, so we'll see. I don't know if you'll be able to hear too much, but we're on the highway. I've done some preliminary test drives and everything seems just fine. I've lowered the red line to 7,500 just to be a little safer. It was 85, just so I can peg the rev limiter and make sure everything's okay. RPM to really show, but it pulls pretty good for 6. I love this car. To go to the car wash Saturday night, so we're going to go clean it up. Car show's tomorrow, so we've got to get rid of all this dust. I know the center is missing, so it's not the best, but still we need to clean it up a little bit. Shift the cameras in my hand. Yeah, we need to mount some GoPros because this just isn't going to work. So good. Oil pressure is still good. Water temp still good. No knock. I'm still running a little conservative for E85 on timing, I think. But yeah. sun visor keeps falling down. Not fun. But I had a quick trip right there. There's a car wash over there that I like to use. Does a pretty good job. But we'll get a little filming of that. Of course, I got excited and forgot to film any of the wash. I think all y'all know how to wash a car though. But it looks a little cleaner. It's original paint, so the clear coat's going. The front bumper's losing it. Mirrors have already lost it. But definitely cleaner. Got a new Toy Speed sticker for the windshield that I gotta put on. Well, I don't have to. I want to. I don't want it to sound like I'm forced to put it on. But we're gonna go to the shop. I've got to start cleaning the interior. And then at night we're gonna go cruise Memorial a little bit, and then cruise Riverside if we can. Protest allow us. There's some tunnels, so we can actually do some tunnel clips. I'm excited about that. Just pulling back up to the shop. I'm gonna use this nifty little thing. Set it to 1 minute. Keys are out. Let's have you look. That is a super old HKS turbo timer. This is super old HKS manual boost controller, HKS boost gauge. You'll also notice that is a Turbo 2 tach, but over here that is an NA display. So this voltage would actually be boost on a Turbo 2, but there were little dealer guy representatives stationed at some of the dealerships back in this was 88, and they'd have like a little kiosk. You'd walk in and you'd buy the car, then you'd tell them what you wanted. So it also came with a HKS blow-off valve, HKS downpipe, HKS exhaust. All that stuff's gone now, but so technically it's kind of like a HKS edition from the factory, if you wanted to, you know, title it like that. But now that it's washed, it's a little better. Oh, she looks so much better in camera. The camera does a little better justice than it is in person, but so you see there's a couple of tiny leaks there, and then you see that same kind of pattern over here, and then this one big one. That big one is the output shaft seal on the transmission. When I pulled just the engine, the jack kind of went down, and so the drive shaft kind of was sitting on the seal. So I think it kind of deformed it, so now it's leaking. It's not that bad. It needs to be replaced, obviously, but I'm so happy this thing's running. This whole year has been nothing but headaches with this car. Trying to be the first one to do the VET, and then before I bought this, I was trying to do the VET swap to make this my daily again, and because of the cam correlation problem, the sensor not working and stuff like that, I ended up like I couldn't, so I ended up buying the G, which is amazing. I love it for a daily. Honestly, I wouldn't want a daily this thing. This thing's loud and obnoxious and shakes you everywhere. The tranny sounds like it's straight cut gears, but I think I have a good combo going on. On one of the, I think it was right after I filmed it, I was doing a 5th gear pull on the highway and went to redline. Right before redline, we popped this boost coupler off. This is the factory coupler, so it's not really reinforced. It's just 1-ply reinforced, and I only have a worm drive on it where I should have T-bolts. We're slowly trying to transition. As you can see, this is T-bolt, this is T-bolt, this is T-bolt. That other one's T-bolt, but this one is not. As you can see, it looks like that one's trying to slide off too. Or it's just seated the best it can. We probably have little leaks here and there, but and then the one oil leak, well, see, it looks like 2, because you can see that wetness there, which looks like it's coming from not the sensor but the hose next to it. It's not enough to run down. I can't see any drainage on the filter at all. The one leak I am aware of, you can see all the wetness there. The timing tensioner. Let's see, yeah, right there next to the sensor. If I remove my finger, you'll see it. That I reused the metal gasket. Normally I just silicone them, but I put silicone on it and use the metal gasket, and of course I shouldn't have, and it's the first time I've ever had one of those leak. But sure enough, when you don't do it the normal way, it's going to do something. What else? I'm kind of going over everything on video. I haven't looked at it. We drove, it's probably over 50 miles. As you can see, that I don't use this exhaust temp sensor, but it needs to be pulled up. It was sitting on it. Thankfully it was wrapped. That's still really hot. We still need to zip tie all this. Yeah, that clutch line is sitting way closer to the exhaust than I would like. Yeah, see, this is already pushed off some just from my one pull. I adjusted it at the house and it was here. Now it's already slid off. So it's going to continue to pop off. We're going to have to try to find a 2-inch T-bolt clamp or something. Maybe double worm drive it. That'd probably work too. It goes far enough in. Looks like maybe some residue off the valve cover, but doesn't appear to have any fuel leaks. Yeah, it looks like a little wetness down there too. So our VVL plate's probably leaking a little bit. Yeah. But all in all, for doing it in like a couple of weekends on my time off, that little bit of leaking isn't bad. So, also, if no one has noticed, these are S5 taillights that have been, the factory reflectant's been taken out. But if you look at the center, that is not a normal center. You can see there's a keyhole there, and then there's a covered keyhole there. So this is actually a S5 convertible. I like it better. The S5 coupe lights are glass all the way to here, and they'd be red. And I'm really, especially on red cars, I'm a fan of the contrast of the taillights versus it blending in. So the contrast of that black looks a lot better than it just being a dark red, in my opinion. But we're gonna open up the shop and then start cleaning. Okay, we're on Riverside finally, so let's start recording again. The Arkansas River is right through those bushes. You can couldn't see it there, but this is probably the best street in Tulsa, honestly. You can see kind of the river out there. It's a very dirty and smelly river. But we just spent a doing a couple of overhead walks, so we now have some tunnels. Back at 6. That way we're not too loud. Speed limit's like 40 on this, and then once we get to like the tunnel it goes down to 35. And cops do patrol this, so I think it's a couple more miles. I wish there wasn't so much glare. I just don't want to turn my flash on. But I gotta hit up a friend, so I guess we're not gonna go to the tunnels. So we'll get on the highway. And here's the tunnels. Oh, we're gonna pull over and do some oh, okay. Came off again. Well, you couldn't hear much, but I'll have other footage. Here we are at Toy Speed Motorsports, waiting for everybody else to show up. It's the morning of IFO. Normally I'm not really too excited about IFO, but just since it's been so long since I had the Rx7 really running, and since the COVID-19 shit, this should be a really big community show, I'm hoping. So it should be fun. Just time to get out and hang out with other car people. But we had a couple issues last night. The hot side of the boost piping kept popping off. So last night I went back and redid it a little bit. Hopefully, I ordered a T-bolt clamp, but hopefully the way I redid it should work for us. I may run it down the drag strip today. I'm not for sure. The one thing that's stopping us is that tie down needs to be installed on the battery. Otherwise they're not going to let me run because it's not tied down. But we're a little early. We'll probably have to wait for at least 30 minutes for anyone to start showing up. Supposed to meet the owners here. John's going to bring out his 73 Corolla that's also SR swapped. And then there's a 8.6, the new ones, the FT86s. There's a whole crew of them from Oklahoma City supposed to be coming up here too. And this is just some of the stuff in the parking lot. The Evo 10 over there getting a lot of work done. There's a lot of stuff in there too. But we'll turn it back on when everybody starts showing up. A little show of already past half a mile of cars. We're showing up a little late. See, we're having to pull over on the side of the highway because that's how long the line is. Well, we got a Mark III out there. A swan neck wing. I don't know if you saw that. But thankfully all my fans work, because we're going to be sitting here idling for a couple hours. That's a 250 horsepower BRZ on single digit boost. But yeah, that's what this is going to be for a while. We have finally arrived at the gates. Probably at least an hour from the video. They got a LS powered 240Z in front of us. And then behind us is a nice S2K. A Speed Hunter banner on it. But line's still moving pretty slow, so I won't keep it filming. At the Nismo cluster, a badass graffiti on the seats. Yep.
How much do you think this car is worth?
Do a little walkthrough.
Yeah, she called me too. And I was barely at my mom's house.
My bad. Little S12. A lot of Hondas in T-Town. Always the way. Oh, M1 is nice. That's my type of car. A nice fitment. Debadged. S14 with RB. I'm digging this 4-door. The little 20 air seat filter. I'm digging the car, man. There's no week fest here for sure, but this is nice to get out. Look at cars. All been cooped up in the house for so long. We'll continue a little later. I'll find some good ones. I'll do some. The stock L28, but the paint job. Looking good, man. A little supercharged. I love those hoods. That's probably a favorite hood on this. Body kit on the front. Yeah, Yep, that's little fucking Celica. Dope. I love it. Some people don't like these. This is one of my favorite BMWs, period. And it's an M.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem, bud. Oh, hold on. That's a shooting brake? That's a shooting brake is what that is.
I love these things. Alright, so this is what I came back around to look at. I missed it the first time. It's a GT4. One of the coolest Celicas ever, in my opinion. It's a 3SGT all-wheel drive. Looks pretty stock. This would be another one I just skipped through. I didn't realize it was Bailey's car. But the M4 caged. Got the cage in there too. This guy's also had a pretty clean M3. I think it was a E46. It was like the midnight purple with the big ass wing on it. Pretty clean. I'm digging it. We'll get a exit shot.